first tonight, more frustrated homeowners in our area are coming forward about their experience with a Florida company the Attorney General accuses in a lawsuit of, quote, swindling consumers out of their home equity.
MV Realty out of Delray Beach uses cash to entice homeowners into a 40-year contract that operate kind of like liens. And when they try to escape, the company sues to collect thousands of dollars.
10 Investigates Emerald Morrow has been following this story. And Emerald, the Attorney General's office is taking notice of your reports.
Yes, since our first report on this company and their 40-year contracts, we have learned the office has been in touch with every single person that we have interviewed since January, and their stories could be critical to boosting the state's case. This is as even more homeowners share their experiences as the state's lawsuit advances.
This is my home. You know, I do love my home, and I really wanted to stay here for a long, long time.
But each turn of the page in this lawsuit reminds Vivian Lopez of Riverview it might be her only option, even though she's now ready to sell and downsize.
It's been extremely stressful.
Lopez reached out to 10 Investigates after MV Realty hit her with a lawsuit in February. It says she broke their homeowner benefit agreement, a contract that gives exclusive rights for the company to be her realtor. Little did she know that contract lasts 40 years and gets filed with the courts like a lien. Breaking it often ends with a lawsuit.
This is crazy. How can they do that though?
Foreclosure attorney Ryan Torrens explains.
What happens to the homeowner is if they go and try to sell the property through a different realtor, not associated with MV Realty sues the homeowner for what we call an equitable lien against the property. They ask for attorney's fees, and what they're asked for is for 3% of the total value of the home.
Court records show this has happened to hundreds of people across the state, and they've been sharing their stories with us since last year.
Because of them, we almost lost our house.
Just don't even get in touch with them. They're terrible.
They're preying on the poor.
They're worried about making money and not doing anything.
The company entices homeowners with upfront cash if they sign the homeowner benefit agreement. Lopez got $1,400, but she could now owe more than $14,000. That's according to the lawsuit MV Realty filed when Lopez listed her home with a new agent. She says MV Realty was not working hard enough to sell her property.
For Vivian to put her home on the market with an agent for 6 months and only have a handful of showings and very little communication, it's very disappointing.
We've been trying for months to get an interview with someone from MV Realty. We even drove almost 4 hours to Delray Beach a few months back to get someone to talk. That didn't go so well, and it ended with a visit from the police. They never came to the door, never told us to leave the property or anything, so no problem. Thank you. This time, we just wanted answers on Vivian's case and about the Attorney General's lawsuit that accuses the company of, quote, swindling consumers out of their home equity. There was a hearing last week on MV Realty's motion to dismiss, which says the state's allegations are, quote, insufficient and do not amount to false, fraudulent, deceptive, unfair, or unconscionable business activity.
We are suing on this entire business model, which is corrupt and horrible.
But a judge ruled the case must move forward.
And I'm going to deny the motion to dismiss.
An attorney for MV Realty spoke with us after the hearing.
We think this is an overreach by the Attorney General. And you look at the contract's clear. Everybody knew what they were getting into when they signed the contract. They might not like it, but that doesn't make it an invalid contract.
A spokesperson told us in an email, MV Realty remains confident that the homeowner benefit program fully complies with the law, and we hope to work with policymakers in Florida to address concerns. That spokesperson also said Ms. Lopez accepted MV's payment and knew her obligation, yet willfully violated her agreement. In the meantime, the company has voluntarily and temporarily paused entering into any new agreements. But for those still fighting to escape the 40-year contract,
it's actually really heartbreaking. But I hope that they get shut down, and I hope that this goes away, because I should not have a lawsuit for something that, again, they deceived me by.
If anybody watching this story sees this and decides not to sign one of these agreements, then you've done your job. because this is a real heartache for Vivian and, you know, so many of the other people that have, you know, unknowingly signed these agreements.
Attorney Ryan Torrance told us you should never sign any kind of legal agreement without first speaking to an attorney. And taking a deeper dive, we asked him what you should do to make sure you do not have any liens on your property.
Maybe once a year, maybe once every couple years, have a title search pulled. It'll usually cost around $125, $150. So it's worth incurring that little extra expense every so often just to make sure that your title is clear.
He says this way you will know if there is an old second mortgage on your property as well. Torrance adds also, if you are sued, you have just 20 calendar days to file a response with the courts.
If you do not file that within 20 days from the day you were served with that lawsuit, you lose the case automatically. You could end up with a lien against your home confirmed by a judgment of the court if you don't respond timely.
Florida's Attorney General is not the only one who has a problem with MV Realty. At least 4 other states have filed lawsuits against the company. 10 Investigates has even more tips for you to protect your home, and you can see them all on 10tampabay.com/10investigates. And viewers like Vivian Lopez have been sharing their experiences with MV Realty with us. And now we want to hear your story. If you have something you think 10 Investigates needs to check out, you can text your tips to 727-577-8522.